Okay, we've got breaking news. The Times Union is now reporting that the FBI and the U.S. Attorney in Brooklyn is now probing the Cuomo administration on its handling of COVID-19 in New York State nursing homes. With me now is, for his reaction, former Deputy Assistant to President George W. Bush, Brad Blakeman. Brad, this is ratcheting up. If this report is true, the FBI and the DOJ is now on the stick going after Governor Cuomo. What do you say?
What I say is I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now we're seeing Democratic legislators for the governor to be stripped of his emergency powers. They're also talking about impeachment. These are not Republicans. This isn't a witch hunt. This is real. There are deep inconsistencies at best and a cover-up at worst that has been perpetrated by the governor with regard to COVID. And then networks like CNN will not report this news, but they were quick to report on the governor's Emmy. They were quick to report on his book. They were quick to report on things that served Chris, his brother, and the governor well. But they're not reporting the news now.
Well, we should point out CNN's Jake Tapper is reporting, and other anchors are, but it's CNN's Chris Cuomo is not covering it, whitewashing the story of his brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. He puts out an executive order in March of last year saying nursing homes, you got to take back in patients, and you can't test them. And then he makes himself look better by not counting hospital deaths from nursing home patients in the number, and had to get the information out of him. His state attorney general had to get it out of him. I mean, he went on Chris Cuomo's show 10 times, and Chris Cuomo didn't point it out. And now we've got reportedly the FBI and the U.S. attorney in Brooklyn investigating Governor Cuomo. I mean, people are saying you got to give back your Emmy. Democrats are saying that. Your word.
He had the audacity, that be Governor Cuomo and Chris Cuomo, to chastise President Trump when President Trump bent over backwards to give everything Governor Cuomo requested, whether it be ventilators, whether it be a hospital ship, whether it be supplies. And look what happened to all the federal assistance that was given to the governor. It was never used. If he had used those facilities for the elderly, we wouldn't be in the situation we are in now. He did it for his own political purposes at the expense of lives. He lied and people died, and that's a fact.
He gets donations from the hospital industry. That's the question, too. The hospital industry gives political donations to him. The question is that the hospital industry makes money from Medicare. I mean, why didn't he use the facility? Why didn't he separate them into other facilities? Why put them back into nursing homes? We understand the hospital industry gets a lot of Medicare money. We get that. We understand it. But, people want to get to the bottom of it because the AP is saying 15,000 people died because, Cuomo, you created a super spreader event, a disaster in New York nursing homes, putting patients back in. And then you tried to make yourself look better by covering it up, by lowballing the numbers and not counting hospital deaths. And then bullying a fellow Democrat, Ronald Kim, whose own uncle died of COVID in a nursing home, saying, you're going to feel my wrath. I'm going to destroy you if you don't give political protection to my aide who confessed, yeah, we did cover it up. What do you say to that?
Well, I think that it's quite clear now, and Democrats are on board with the fact that the governor was not acting in the best interest of the citizens. He was acting in the interest, the selfish, greedy interest of a hospital and nursing home industry. They get paid, as you just point out, by the patient. When a patient leaves, they lose that subsidy. So you got to get more patients in order to increase the government subsidy, or at least maintain it. But these people were infected. And now who does he blame for the infection? He blames the hospital workers, the nursing home workers. This is crazy.
And
those
visitors.
People should have been moved out and segregated.
Yeah, like Florida did. So where does this go from here, Brad? You've been, at front and center in all sorts of scandals and political scandals in the past. Where does this go?
Well, I think it's going to be a multi-level approach. I think the state's going to be investigating, the feds are going to be investigating, the local authorities are going to be investigating, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be a political ramification, either by impeachment or stripping the governor of his powers, and then I think there's also going to be possibly even criminal liability.
All right, Brad Blakeman, thank you so much for joining us and breaking that story down again. Reports coming in, the FBI, DOJ investigating Governor Cuomo.